Liverpool comfortably beat West Ham with a 5-star display in the quarter-final of the Carabao Cup on Wednesday. Liverpool eased past West Ham to reach the semi-final of the Carabao Cup on Wednesday. A Dominic Szoboszlai stunner, a Curtis Jones brace and a welcome goal for Cody Gakpo sealed a 5-1 victory over David Moyes' hapless Hammers at Anfield. Liverpool largely dominated the match from start to finish. They only led 1-0 at halftime, but Dominic Szoboszlai's long-range dipping strike is one that will be remembered by those in attendance. The Reds finally made their dominance count in the second half when Jones scored from a tight angle, somehow squeezing the ball through the legs of Alphonse Areola in the Hammers' net. Gakpo ended his goal drought with a fine low effort from the edge of the 18-yard box. Jarrod Bowen grabbed what turned out to be a consolation before Mohamed Salah netted off the bench and Jones scored his second after a solo run. Express Sport looks at what we learned from an extremely comfortable night for Jurgen Klopp's team. Szoboszlai has often been dubbed the Steven Gerrard region since his arrival in the summer. The Hungary star came with a reputation for the spectacular and he hasn't disappointed. Jamie Carragher mentioned on commentary that Liverpool haven't had a player like him since his old pal Gerrard still played. The technique on Szoboszlai's goal was to behold and certainly one Gerrard would have been pleased with. Liverpool-born Jones is also following a similar path to Gerrard and stood out in this evening's match. Jones wears the number 17, the same shirt Gerrard wore in his first few years in the first team. And his performance was one that would befit the former skipper. His second goal in particular was exceptional, weaving his way through the West Ham defense before finishing calmly, and has certainly reminded his manager of his abilities. Jones worked under Gerrard at under-18 level and credited him for having a big impact on his career. If he can become half the player he was then, Klopp will have another star on his hands. January will be key. Liverpool's lack of depth was shown up again. Klopp felt forced into bringing on the cavalry despite leading 2-0 at the time. Klopp was clearly looking forward to Saturday's match against Arsenal by giving Virgil van Dijk, Wataru Endo and Szoboszlai a breather. However, he would much rather have had alternative options to replace them. Mohamed Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Ibrahima Konate all came on after an hour. They all ideally would have been rested entirely so they were fresh for the visit of the Gunners.